Hello viewers, you join us on a lovely day in an equally lovely place far away from the city, and we are here because we can be here, and more importantly because this car can bring us here. This is the latest Land Rover Defender P300 110, and we tell you everything you need to know about it. Parked on a pile of rocks in the middle of nowhere would make it very awkward for most cars, but the Defender looks like it's in its element. And since the Bond movies, they have not changed the styling, it's still a very good mix of utilitarian yet classy. And that's it for the exterior. The biggest changes are inside. During the meetings for the interior design, I think space was a key word at Land Rover, because here you have acres of the thing. Lots of room for the driver and passenger, lots of storage room as well, and the entire center console with this new paved Pro entertainment system makes for a very clean and simple layout. This is the second row of the Defender, and this seat is set to my height, and space is not a problem here as well. And it is extremely nicely appointed with rugged elements like this, nice touches on the door panel, and a massive panoramic sunroof. A good car to drive and a good one to be driven in as well. I'm not talking about going to work and all, but if you're going on an adventure, this is as nice a place to be as that one. The boot of the Land Rover Defender, like its interior, has been designed around the keyword of space. So as you can see, my 6'1" tall frame is extremely comfortable in this space, and if you need a third row, well, I'm sitting on those seats. They fold out very easily with just one click. Under the hood of the P300 110 Land Rover Defender, you have the Ingenium 2-litre 4-cylinder engine that produces 300 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of peak torque. Land Rover claimed that this car is propelled from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in a little less than 8 seconds and goes on to a top speed of 191 kilometers per hour. Sure, this may be one of the smallest turbo petrol engines in the Defender lineup, but it is not the engine that makes the Defender. The engine is only one part in a formula that also includes things like departure angles, bodywork, suspension and all of that. So this engine, in spite of its small size, is more than enough for a lifestyle like this. The Defender gets disc brakes all around, but more importantly, it also gets air suspension. And that is what you're seeing at work right here. That is a fully extended air suspension unit at its maximum height, or rather, like Land Rover want to call it, off-road height, which is primarily why this car is so good at tackling bumps on the road and accessing areas like this. After that rugged, extremely utilitarian exterior, it is quite surprising to be in the cabin, because the Defender is luxurious beyond measure. This might be the most luxurious Defender yet. It is, I would say, at par with the level of comfort that one can expect in the Discovery and in the entry-level Range Rover models. Land Rover have made the transition into a luxury brand, and the ride in the Defender complements that fact, because this car has air suspension, and that levels out most of the undulations on the road with zero effect for the passengers and driver, making this car extremely comfortable to drive and to be driven in. In spite of its big size, it's easy to drive the Defender because I can see the corners of the bonnet from here, and the steering is also weighted well enough for me to give the right amount of input at the right time. It does have a little bit of body roll going around fast corners, but the air suspension irons out most of it. After having spent the whole day with the Defender, what I've come to realize is this is a car that caters to a very adventurous lifestyle. On the way here, the traffic did not bother me at all. And once we got here, the car was able to make it to this spot through demanding terrain without making me feel uncomfortable at any point of time. From the inside, the Defender actually feels like a more updated, more capable Discovery. And on the outside, it retains its Defender charm. But it's still a big departure from what the Defender used to be. This is no longer a utilitarian car. Yes, it can do a lot of off-road things. Yes, it is extremely capable. But in such an expensive vehicle, I wouldn't be comfortable getting back on with my muddy boots. Somewhere along the line, Land Rover transcended from being a utilitarian off-road company into a luxury brand. And this is a byproduct of that transition. And there's nothing to complain on that front. But if you're a hardcore enthusiast who wants to take this car to do proper off-roading, then you need two things. One is endless enthusiasm, and two, a lot of money. There you have it. That's all you need to know about the latest Land Rover Defender 110. If you liked what you saw, as always, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment and all that. And if you feel I haven't told you something, do let me know in the comment section and we will get back to you promptly. This is Joshua Varghese signing off for Car India.